Gauteng Premier David Makhura has suspended his Provincial Health Department head, Mkhululi Lukhele. This follows a special investigating unit report which found that Lukhele failed to exercise responsibility in awarding PPE contracts to certain companies. So a statement from the Premier's office stated that Lukhele's actions may have resulted in the department incurring fruitless or wasteful expenditure. Lukhele is to remain on precautionary suspension, pending a disciplinary hearing and completion of SIU investigations. Thabo Masebe is the spokesperson for the Gauteng Provincial Government, and he joins me now live. A very good evening to you, Mr. Masebe. Thanks indeed for your time. So I take it that Mr. Lukhele's suspension is with immediate effect, but are you zooming in on other employees within the health department who did not follow due process in the awarding of contracts during this pandemic?
Yes, Griselda, definitely we are. We are going to be dealing with all the issues. We will be dealing with all the officials who failed to exercise their responsibility, who failed to exercise care to ensure that all procurement was done in accordance with the law and regulation.
Mr. Masebe, perhaps, also an update with regard to that as well. How many companies are currently being investigated who were awarded contracts by the Gauteng Health Department?
Well, there were more than 102 companies that were referred to the SIU for investigation. The SIU continues to investigate. As you'd recall, a few weeks ago, they also identified a few companies which had already been paid, and they initiated processes to freeze the assets of such companies because they received money that they did not deserve. And the SIU has also indicated that they are continuing to deal with other companies. So there will be more companies that the SIU will be targeting, take civil action against in order to safeguard the assets of the state.
Mr. Masebe, you state in your media release that Mr. Lukhele's actions may have resulted in incurring fruitless and wasteful expenditure. How much are we talking about here?
Well, the initial amount, the SIU has just identified close to 30 million rand, but it could be more because as they continue with their investigation, they do pick up new information which requires them to act. So far, according to their update report, we're talking just about 30 million rand.
As those investigations, of course, continue, Mr. Masebe, what is the Gauteng Provincial Government doing about some of these aspects? I think there's a lot that COVID-19 has exposed in terms of perhaps the systems within government, in particular when it comes to issues of procurement. What is the Gauteng Provincial Government planning to do to tighten some of these, given what we're seeing now?
Well, procurement processes have been tied throughout. If you recall, Premier David Makhura introduced the open tender system in 2014 in order to eliminate corruption from the procurement system. So the system is more transparent. Everybody can see what we do, how we evaluate companies, how we arrive at decisions to award the companies that would have submitted proposals.
Yeah.
But what we see here is that some people within the health department clearly decided to abuse the system and take advantage of the declaration of the state of national disaster and avoided all procurement processes. So these are the issues that the SIU is currently finding as they continue to investigate.
All right, Mr. Thabo Masebe, we're going to leave it here for now. I know that the Provincial Command Council will be having a media briefing tomorrow. We'll be able to ventilate some of these issues a bit further tomorrow, where Premier David Makhura, of course, will participate in that briefing to the media. We'll hear from you then and take this a bit further. Thank you very much indeed. Thabo Masebe, the spokesperson for the Gauteng Provincial Government.